Woo! I told y'all, I promise y'all, I was not holding back in 2024. I was going to give y'all the real deal, the real game. No fluff. No concern for how you're going to feel about it. No concern for your feelings after you hear what I have to say. So, no regard for your feedback, whether it be positive or negative towards me. I really don't care. Because here's what I know. 80, even more, probably 90% of people all think the same way. All think the same way. So if I want to be a part of change in my own life, and I'm not talking about other people's lives, the rich and the wealthy, I'm talking about making my life better, making my family's life better, then you have to do what I'm doing. You have to take a page from my book, and that is think for yourself. Don't always be emotionally attached. Get out of emotions. Get into logic. Get out. I've used this example plenty of times, and sometimes it get me in trouble with other people because the way they feel towards me about it. I don't really care. Again, by the way, hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. This is your greatest opportunity in your history, your whole life, to get rich, to get wealthy, to change everything. Don't be afraid. Please, please, please hear me out. Do not be afraid to talk about getting rich. Do not be afraid to talk about being a millionaire. Do not be afraid to talking about building generational wealth. All of these things, contrary to popular belief or whatever other people or those who just don't want anything out of life, whatever they say, contrary to all that trash, it's a good thing. To be wealthy and be able to live a better life while you still have time is a good thing. I'm telling you. The opposite is to be poor and live struggle life. Now, I know most people accept that as a good thing. They may not think it's a good thing, but they accept it as a good thing. There's a difference. I don't agree with it, but I'm rocking with it, right? I don't agree with it, but look, I'm comfortable. I know how to struggle. I know how to take my paycheck and make ends meet. I know how to stretch every dollar. A penny earned is a penny saved. Stupid stuff like that. It is hard when you are struggling paycheck to paycheck to try to put some semblance of success together in your life. To wake up every day to misery and struggle life ain't no fun. Bad grammar, good teaching. It ain't no fun. I've done it. You're talking to somebody who's not talking about homeless people, who was a homeless person 3 times that I can remember in my life. Started when I was in high school. If I'm not mistaken, I was a senior in high school, either senior or junior. While other people were getting ready to go to college, while other people were getting ready to go into the military or to have some type of, plan to get them to success, I was looking for a place to sleep. One of my friends took me in, but I was looking for a place to sleep. I was homeless. I came home from school one day, and my mom ran away. Think about that. Me and my brothers, we come home, and we were not good kids. We were terrible. We were trouble. Just put it like that. And we came home from the first time I was arrested. I was 8 years old. I'll never forget that. I was 8 years old in the back of a police car in handcuffs. I didn't go to jail, but I was arrested. The reason I was arrested because I was a badass kid, and I was throwing rocks and balls at this old lady's house, and she called the police, and they put me in handcuffs and took me back to my mom, who beat the crap out of us. But I was in handcuffs at 8 years old. So that ought to give you some indication of how bad my life was. And from then, just trouble. Suspended, expelled, was kicked out of school. I don't even know how I passed grades. I wasn't even in school. So I think the teachers just wanted to get rid of me. And something popped in my head about a couple things with teachers. One teacher in the 8th grade, because I got suspended most of the season, so there's no way, most of the year, so there was no way I could pass. But when I got to her class the following year, the first day, she leaned over, put her arms around me, put a paper on my desk and said, give this to your mom, son. You're going to high school tomorrow. They literally kicked me out of the 8th grade. And so that's how bad it was. And I know they kicked me out because I wasn't even there to pass the 8th grade. And so the teachers didn't want anything to do with me. They got rid of me. I went to high school. It was the same old, same old. Just destroying my life, making a mess of my life. Just trouble, trouble, trouble. It wasn't just me. It was all my brothers. And I could go into detail, but trust me, some very bad things happened with my family. Very bad with my brothers. And even to this day, we still deal with some of it right now. Thankfully for me, I got saved and my life changed. And I want to see my whole family, come to Christ. So other than that, because even though I get on here and I talk to you all about money, about wealth, about living your best life, all of that comes second to your eternal life. So, because you're going to be dead a lot longer than you're going to be alive, trust me. So fix that part first. I don't even know how I got to this. I guess it's just in my spirit to say, if you're not saved, accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. He's the only way. He changed my life. I'm telling you, he could change yours. And that's the only chance you got. I'm not even going to lie to you. He's the only chance you got. There ain't no other. He said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. I'm the door. You better use it while you still can. So, but again, I made a mess of my life, and it was struggle life. And then as I grew up, I started, learning certain things. I started getting jobs, getting some skills, and then it took all the way to 2017 for me to wake up and go like, oh my gosh, I'm homeless again for the 3rd time. I'm in a really bad situation, and started changing my life. By then I had 2 kids, so you want to talk about pressure. So I always say it's one thing for you to struggle. It's another thing for you to struggle and somebody else has to struggle because of your struggle. So bad decisions, a lot of trouble, not doing well. Started a small business because I didn't know what else to do. I was just desperate for money. The business ended up being blessed, got going, started growing, made some money. Moved from Louisiana where I had all that trouble. Moved to, by the way, if you live in Louisiana, please get your children out of Louisiana. Don't stay there. And not just Louisiana. That's Georgia, Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi, all those. So, but ended up doing some different things, put myself in a better position. And since 2017, I've never, and it's not a brag, I'm just making a point, I've never had less than $10,000 in a bank account. And that ain't even a lot of money. But since 2017, I've never had less than that. Now, before that, all the years of my life, I've never seen that kind of money, right? I never had that kind of money. So it ain't a lot, no, but I'm just telling you, it's a whole lot better than zero. And now today, I got a lot more than that. But I'm thankful for that. I didn't always have that. So that's why I'm doing this video for you today, to let you know that this is the best opportunity of your life to change your life. You can sit back, you can fiddle your fingernails and your toes and waste time and do things that broke people do. Have the mindset that the poor, the broke, and the struggling middle class do. By the way, middle class, I love you, I respect you, you do hard work. They're gonna wipe you out. They're coming for you. How do I know? Because they're gonna listen, the only way that the government makes money primarily is through taxes and school tuition. School tuition is already at an all-time high. Highest it's ever been in history. It's not going down. The only other way they can get money from you is to tax you. They're not going to tax the poor because the poor don't make enough money. They're not going to tax the rich, hear me out, because the rich use loopholes, number one, and they use debt. Why do I say debt? Because student loan is debt, yeah, but that's bad debt. The rich use good debt. Well, what's the difference? Good debt is debt that someone else pays back for you. Bad debt is debt that you pay back. You go to school, you get a loan, you pay that back out of your paycheck. You borrow money, buy an apartment complex, the tenants pay that back. Different kinds of debt. So it's good debt and bad debt. If you got student loan debt, you got bad debt. But if you got debt to buy a house, bad debt. If you got debt to buy a car, bad debt. Unless someone else pays those things. If you use debt to buy a liability. Anything that takes money out of your pocket, that's bad debt. I know you need a house, but just understand it's still bad debt. Don't come at me, because I know y'all do. On my other channel, y'all do. I know you do. Because I read the comments. Who's this guy talking about don't buy a house? No, don't buy a house with your paycheck. That's a terrible idea. That's prison. Well, I've always been taught to buy a house. Yes, and that was cool 10 years ago, 20, 30 years ago, even 5 years ago. Now houses are overpriced. You're going to have to pay for it. I'm going to get a house, but I'm not going to get it with a paycheck. Understand the difference? If you get it with a paycheck, you got to work for 30 years and have that paycheck, because you don't know how to make money other than jobs. So you just sign yourself to voluntary prison for 30 years. I've been there, done that. It ain't no fun. It ain't a good feeling. That's why I preach against it. There is a way you can buy a house. Just don't do it with the paycheck. So hit subscribe, hit thumbs up if you like what you're hearing so far. If you don't, then this video is certainly for you, and you need to wake up. I need you to get out of your emotions. I need you to back up. I need you to check yourself, look in the mirror and say, hey, let me take off this emotional vest where everything's emotional for me, and let me look at this from a logical perspective. All right, brother, what did you just say? And that's all I want from you. Disagree, agree, does not matter. Just hear me out. This is the greatest opportunity of your lifetime to get rich. I'm not gonna rich. Now, when I say rich, I don't mean, because this word is passed around the internet like a virus. $1 million, 7 figures, millionaire. You don't need $1 million to be rich. You can make $250,000 a year, and I'll consider you rich. Right? You can make 180, and I'm gonna say you're good. You're good. You can live the life you want to live. But hey, Sean, I see the Lambos. You don't need all that stuff. That's foolishness. You can rent that stuff and give it back. You don't need to waste money on that. Heard a guy the other day talking about a $400,000 car. What? There's no car worth $400,000. That's like I look online and houses are like 20 million. There's no house worth 20 million. There's no walls, no paint, no plumbing that's worth $20 million. No way. Right? There's some beautiful views in this world that's probably worth a lot of money. But there ain't a damn house anywhere in this world that's worth that. Ain't happening. Me personally, I couldn't see myself spending more than like $1 million for a house. In fact, we're looking at a house. We might look at one today that's like 1.3. It's a beautiful house. 3 years ago, that house would have been $750. Now it's almost double. How do I know that? Because I sold my house for double. Just saying. I don't just talk it, I walk it. I'm telling you what I know from experience. This is the best time for you to be successful and make money, freedom money, money that can buy your time back. If your job is paying you $50,000 a year, to get 40 hours a week from you, 52 weeks a year, Mike Tyson just punching you in the face, beating you up, and you probably won't even be that long, because nobody's working 20 years. Nobody's working at one job 10 years. Artificial intelligence is just zooming in, and they're going to fire you. As soon as they find AI or the system that can replace you, you're out the door. I promise you, you're out the door. I would get you out the door. If I could find a system to replace you, hey, I don't need you. Just telling you how it's coming. You better wake up. I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm taking the baby gloves off. This is how it's going to happen to you. If you're not aware, if you're not paying attention, wake up. So again, AI is coming for your job. People that are coming out of college that's been overcharged and desperately need money, they're coming for your job. Right? Systems coming for your job. Processes coming for your job. Foreigners, people all around the world competing for your job. You haven't been paying attention, have you? Oh, you've been watching Cat Williams, and who else is in the news? Cat Williams, I don't know, God knows who. But you've been watching Cat Williams interviews, like 50-something million people been watching it. You got 2 hours to invest in that. Sit down and trauma bond. Watch drama bond. You're going to sit down and watch that for 2 hours. There are books about finances and changing your life you could have read in that 2 hours. That would have changed your life. What'd you get from a 2 hour interview of just garbage and mess? Nothing. They made money. What did you make? You lost money because you lost your time. Right? You lost your time. Time you could have used to educate yourself, make money. Or time you could have sold at your job to make money. So while everybody else is not focused and they're focused on the wrong thing, this is your opportunity to focus on what you need to do to change your life. This is the opportunity that you need to completely change your life. This is it. I don't know what else to tell you. Don't sleep on this opportunity. Nothing, read my lips, nothing will ever be the same after the pandemic. Businesses that are worth billions of dollars are finding that out. They've got multi-year leases on commercial property that nobody wants to go back to. The workers don't want to go back to the low pay because the government paid them more to quit their job and go home during the pandemic. Didn't pay them the same, paid them more. Well, common sense should tell you that's wrong, number one. And number two, that should tell you or should open your eyes to the idea that, wait a minute, y'all are trying to create a dependent state. Why'd y'all pay me more to go home? You're not incentivizing me going to work. You close my job. You're incentivizing me to go home and not go back to work. Now I don't want to go back to work. I want to sit at home and do nothing. Smoke weed, have sex, play video games, watch Cat Williams interview for two hours. Now, I hate on Cat Williams. I'm just saying, these are the things that you buy with your time. Your time is money. Not in the sense that time is more valuable than money. No. I'm sorry, that money is time. Time is way more valuable than money. But what I'm saying in this sense is the time that you're wasting. So time is like money also. It's like a currency. So whatever you invest your time into, that's what you're buying with your time. So wherever your attention is, that's the time you're spending. So if your attention is on a 2-hour interview of garbage, then you just bought trash with 2 hours of your day. Now you got 22 left. Now what? You're watching Desperate Housewives of Atlanta and whatnot. Now what? You just wasted another hour. I was watching a show one day. It was called Selling Tampa. And I was like, I don't know anything about real estate. Let me look at this show. I didn't learn nothing about real estate. There was more cat fighting and wig. I'm telling you, soft porn at this point, and they didn't sell one house. My wife watches it. I was like, I gotta turn this off. I can't watch this. It's just affecting my mind. I don't know. I can't watch this. They haven't sold one house. I was like, sweetheart, have they sold a house? She was like, I'm not sure. Oh my gosh, this is Selling Tampa. This is the Jerry Springer show. And but I'm just telling y'all, man, while everybody else is not focused, this is the time, this is the best chance of your life, best opportunity you're ever going to have, because nobody's watching. Everybody's watching the wrong thing. Their attention's on the wrong thing. Nobody's paying attention to what's really going on. People are watching, the 50-something million people watched a 2-hour Cat Williams interview. And you could go to the poorest places, ghettos, hoods, slums, whatever you want to call it, in the whole country. And ghetto, hood, slum does not indicate a particular race. So don't come at me with that. I've been around poor people of a lot of different races. So you poor. And you can go to all those spots and nobody can tell you what was said at the Iowa caucus last week by presidential candidates. They're not watching that. They can tell you what Cat Williams said. They can do that. They can tell you what the next, who's the hottest rapper. They can do that. They can show you the latest TikTok dance. They can do that. But they cannot talk to you about what's important in society. Now, I used to be that way. And I'm not hating on them because I was that way. I'm just saying, y'all need to wake up. Y'all need to wake up and understand what's happening right in front of you. But you're sleepwalking again, and you're missing it. You're missing the greatest opportunity to change your life because nobody's watching and you can focus on what you need to do. There's going to be no resistance. Nobody's going to try to stop you from learning more. Nobody's going to try to stop you from starting a business. Nobody's going to try to stop you from making more money. Nobody. They're not even looking your way. They're not even looking at you. They don't even know you exist. They don't even know your dreams and aspirations exist. And they don't care. All they're thinking about is entertain me, give me some drama, give me some trauma, let's bond, give me some mess, and give me less. Less of everything you got. They're not thinking about abundance. They're not thinking about living their best life, their blessed life. No, they're thinking about their less life, their stress life. That's all it is. That's all it is. So if you move now, I promise you, if you move now, very, very quickly, your life will turn around. Financially, complete 180 from where you are now. It'll turn around. It did for me. You just got to make that decision, make that mind up that, you know what? I'm going this way and I'm not coming back. I'm not going to live like this. I don't want this. I've had this. You can have that. I don't want it. I want a successful life. I want a wonderful life, happy life. I don't want to look at my check balance every time I go to make a purchase. I want to walk on a car lot and say, what do I want today? I want to look in a house and say, do I want it? Do I not want it? And be able to make that decision with power. The way you do it is by changing the way you think about your life, about finances, about the money you want to make, the goals you want to achieve. You have to change the way you think about everything. Big part of that is stop being emotional. Always be logical. See both sides. Robert Kiyosaki used to say this way, get on the edge of the coin so you can see the right, you can see the heads and the tails. See both sides. Get both stories. Be very logical, not emotional. Be logical. If you do that, if you practice logic, I promise you will change your life. Maybe one step at a time, one day at a time, 1 year at a time. Doesn't matter. You're on the road to change. That's the roadmap. That's the blueprint. If you want to learn how to build a company using your cell phone, why not? You use them anyway. You don't even know how to make enough money to pay the bill each month on your cell phone. If you want to learn how to do that, join me this Thursday, the 25th. I'll be doing a live webinar. Join me in the training. I'll drop the Zoom link in the comment below. But you got to change your life, and this is the opportunity of a lifetime. I just hope something I said gets through to you and you don't miss out. Get out of your emotions. Get out of your emotions. Change your life. Drop a comment, drop a question. I'll try to respond as quickly as I can. Just don't drop anything stupid. I won't respond to it. But if you really, really want to change your life and you feel like I did in 2017, and you're like, man, I'm going in the wrong direction, something's got to give. You got to give it. You got to give that sacrifice. You got to give that energy. You got to give it. Otherwise, there won't be change. Change is going to come from you. Life ain't easy. It ain't fair. You don't just get the fruit here. You get the seed. You got to plant the tree, do the work. Then it'll produce fruit. Then you can repeat it. Now I produce fruit every year. You can do it. It ain't hard. It's just a matter of willingness to do it. Success is guaranteed. I promise. It's a guarantee. Only question is, are you going to put in the work to have that success? You want to lose weight? You get out here and run every day and eat healthy? The weight's not going to decide it's going to stick to you anyway. The weight's going to come off. It doesn't have a choice because you put the work in. And that's all I'm here to tell you. Right? So if you want to learn more about how to start a business, because that's what I recommend, start a business. Don't be afraid to start a business. Businesses make people rich, make them wealthy. Change my life. Start a business very quickly, very easy. Right? Start it today. A couple $100. You're in business tomorrow. I teach people how to do a middleman business. I turned this moving company into a middleman business. Now I get to do what I want and make money. So that's all I'm telling you. So if you want to start a middleman business, go ahead and drop the live webinar link. If you don't want the link and you're like, man, I don't need the Zoom, I'm ready to go right into the class because you're a badass and a go-getter, I respect that. I'll drop the link to the masterclass. It's 6 hours. It's going to be even more, but for now it's 6 hours, and it's going to change your life. So spend a couple $100. It's not even expensive. Don't go out. Don't go get lit. Don't waste your money on anything else. Spend this, invest in your future, change your life. That's all I got for you. See you guys on the next video.